What is your take on the negotiations between Israel and Hamas?
You know, I think it is extremely important and should be a matter of highest urgency to make the ceasefire a lasting one. I mean, we're working now on the basis of a temporary cessation of hostilities, a temporary ceasefire. That has to really be made a long-term one, a lasting one, preferably. I see no reason why, these issues would not be, dealt with quickly, because they have been discussed extensively. Whether it's the prisoners' release, Gilad Shalit and the Palestinian prisoners, whether it's the passages, and whether it is the truth, each one of these items, each one of these issues has been discussed and negotiated extensively. And I think it's time to really get on with it and get all of this done, because otherwise, the whole situation will continue to be extremely vulnerable. And there is a great deal of risk of things sliding back in a direction that would be extremely devastating for all of us.
Talking of Marwan Barghouti, and the prisoner swap brings the issue to the Palestinian Authority. Can you tell us of any talks regarding a release of Marwan Barghouti?
We've always pushed for and argued for the need to release our prisoners, Marwan Barghouti included. And that's a known fact. Whether it's Marwan Barghouti or other Palestinian prisoners, they should be released. That's our position all along. On this, let me tell you that I'm someone who believes in talking and in dialogue rather than keeping the channels shut, because it is the only way through which concerns of all sides can be raised and talked about and discussed. Countries are who they are, with all their problems, concerns, ambitions, and agendas and all. International diplomacy is about engagement, not disengagement.
On the Israeli side, does it really make a difference who will form the government and who will sit in the cabinet?
What is really important for us, and indeed for Israel and the international community, is for there to be in Israel a government that is prepared to take seriously commitments that Israel had entered to. I refer to obligations, commitments that we have taken in the course of pursuing this peace process. That's really what matters. That's the measurement. That's the parameter. That's the yardstick by which we should measure governments, not in terms of who actually forms them. We are looking for a government that actually begins to fulfill those obligations, and to begin to do so, particularly insofar as this obligation related to settlement freeze, as well as the commitment to redeploy to September 28 positions, meaning to stop the incursions in Area A. These are very, very important indicators to us as to the seriousness with which the peace process is going to be pursued in the period ahead. And that's what we're going to be looking at very closely.
There are those that opine that only a right-wing Israeli government can bring peace. Do you agree with this?
I've heard that said before, of course, and again, this is really more of an academic think tank kind of discussion. It's not bad to engage in this sort of thinking, but I do not, I myself do not look at things this way. What is really important is to focus on requirements for success, objectively defined. The next question to ask is whether or not there is a government out there that is actually prepared to live up to the commitments, obligations of the process that should lead to that. That's what really matters.
When you first came into power, one of your first orders of business was security.
Yes.
Where do you think it stands now?
Well, insofar as the West Bank is concerned, there's been a major turnaround, as everybody knows, and will tell you for certain. This is something that was first and foremost immediately felt by our own people. You travel around the country, talk to people. It's not so difficult for them to compare what was with what is right now in terms of the turnaround that has been accomplished there. We're very pleased with that. The country was a victim of so much lawlessness, exactly around the period that you referred to. We took office in the immediate aftermath of the violent takeover by Hamas of power in Gaza. We have achieved this turnaround, but to this day, Israel still continues to send the troops and into areas where we have deployed our security services. That has got to stop. That, incidentally, is what I referred to in my earlier comment about obligations that have been entered into and taken previously. What I said about redeployment to September 28 positions. What is required is for those incursions to stop. We have come a long way. We're building towards statehood. Security is key to statehood.
How would you define peace between the Palestinian Authority and Israel?
It's a state of tranquility, peace between people, perfectly normal relations in all facets of bilateral relations, not only political, certainly economic, cultural, and all. Perfectly normal relations between countries living side by side in peace and harmony. That's what we're looking for.
You're going to see it in your lifetime?
I do not know when it will happen. I know it will happen. And I believe that when it happens, it will be because a model of governance like the one what we have been promoting and adopting since mid-2007 will have succeeded.
Prime Minister Salam Faya'd, thank you very much for your time and for this interview.